guys, it's George 3 Guitars, and I want to show you kind of what I'm doing with this thing today. This is that neck from the 72 Fender Telecaster that was given to me a little while ago. And what I'm going to do is I have taken the old fret markers out because they were nasty, plastic and yellowed and gross. And I'm going to replace them with some nice white pearl. But before I do that, I need to get all this old lacquer off the neck, and I'm going to collect some of the dust from this to use to just put a little bit in the bottom of each of these so that the pearl inlays stick up a little bit, so when I sand them down flat, everything is nice and good. So through the magic of videotape, the next time you see this, it will be nice and sanded. I want to show you something I'm doing today. I'm going to be taking the body down to a friend's shop, Jay Eberly Woodworking. He has some amazing tools down there, and he's kind enough to let me borrow them every now and then. But this body is 13.5 inches wide, standard Fender Stratocaster or Telecaster body. And the person who tried to refinish this body just destroyed it with, I'm guessing, with a belt sander or something like that. So in order for me to get this level, because I want to put binding around it, so I need the edges to be nice and flat and the top to be nice and flat, I need to run this through a drum sander. So I'm not going to bring the video camera with me, but I will take a lot of pictures of it and put it in the video as I'm stitching this together. And yeah, and that should come out nice and smooth and usable for me to do something with. Hey guys, so I got back to my friend's house, my friend Joe, and we ran this through his drum sander, and now this top is really looking good. The back isn't completely sanded down. You notice there's still a couple of low spots. I'm not terribly worried about that. I didn't want to take too much off of the back because the control cavity is very thin at the bottom, so I didn't want to take a whole lot off of there. I can correct this in other ways, but I needed the top to be very flat and the edges to be nice and tight. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint the top of this a gloss lacquer black, and then we're going to do binding around the edges. And the binding is going to be 4 layers of black and white. So it'll be black paint, started with a white binding, and then black, and then white, and then black. I think that'll look really sharp. And then I'm going to do a diamond plate pick guard. Not full thickness, obviously, something a little thinner, so it's not quite so heavy on the guitar. But I think that's going to look really good with this nice new chrome hardware. But it's going to be pretty neat. So this is ready, and what I have to do later is just get the edges where I need them, and then I can route the binding channel, and we'll do that later. But I showed you this earlier before I took it out to the garage and sanded it down. The back and everything is all sanded, the lacquer's all gone. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is inlaying pearl into the sections where those marker dots were, but before I can do that, I need to put a little bit of dust and glue in the holes that I drilled to get the old inlays out, and that's the reason why I keep sawdust. All I have to do is just put a little bit in there, hit it with a little bit of super glue, and what it will do is when I super glue the new inlay into the hole, it will bring it up above the fretboard just a tiny bit, so that when I'm sanding the fretboard down, everything will be nice and smooth where it's there. Otherwise, what will happen is the dots will actually be recessed into the fretboard, and then when you're playing it, it will be bumpy, and that's not what I'm looking for. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get started on that.